Welcome in. Georgia Tech and Colorado meeting up on Friday night and looking to kick off their seasons on a right note. But Coach Prime with some massive production to replace after Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders both left for the NFL. And the early returns were a bit lackluster, fellas. Well, nonetheless, it's good to have Dion on the sideline after his battle with cancer. How about we pick this action up in the first quarter? Caden Salter just rolling to his right, looking for somebody, and just rifles this ball to DeKalen Taylor for the 8-yard touchdown to put the Buffaloes on the board.
Georgia Tech down 7-3. Haynes King calls his own number for the 4-yard touchdown run. Yellow Jackets are up 10-7. Now the game is tied at 13. King keeps it himself and cruises his way in for his second rushing touchdown of the night. Yellow Jackets are up 20-13. Now Colorado is down 20-13. Salter escapes the pressure and makes his way into the end zone for the score. Why grab the dice if you're not going to roll? He rolls the dice there and gets into the end zone for a score. Game tied at 20.
Yeah, they reviewed this play, but he showed that athleticism and just got over the goal line for the score. This is game tied at 20. King fakes the pitch, breaks through the traffic en route to a 45-yard touchdown. Yellow Jackets up 27-20. Fourth quarter, last chance for Colorado, and Caden Salter looking to channel his inner Shador Sanders for the Hail Mary. He's it up.
Ganny.
And it falls incomplete. Georgia Tech wins 27-20.
No Shador Sanders liking that one right there, but Georgia Tech out rushing Colorado 320 yards to 146. Meanwhile, he became the first Georgia Tech player with 150-plus rush yards and 3 or more rushing touchdowns in a game since 2018. But this is a heck of a road win for Georgia Tech, Emory.
Yeah, it really is. Georgia Tech is one of those football teams that was dominant last year. You saw how they played in all of their big games. We saw them beat Miami. We saw them go into quintuple overtime versus Georgia. They did a great job in winning those big games, which hardened them as a football team. So now this year, they come in with a lot of return and productivity. They come in with a coach in Brent Key that has preached toughness and discipline on both sides of the ball. We saw this team fight through adversity, came out on the other side. And when you have that type of talent with a quarterback like Haynes King, great things will happen. We saw that tonight in Boulder.
Yeah, definitely. But, the thing that gets me is I think the story of this game is how Georgia Tech was able to fight through just an absolutely disastrous start. In the first 12 plays, 3 turnovers, and they didn't bat an eye. I mean, Haynes King made things simple, got back to running the ball, making plays with his own feet, and minimized the mistakes. 156 yards rushing for Haynes King. I mean, look, to me, this is a story of the game. If you can weather the storm or something like that horrible happening to you, when you look at the drive chart of what Colorado was able to do with those 3 turnovers, it's touchdown, and then it's 3 and out, and then 5 and out. So this Georgia Tech defense came to play as well, really kept them in this game, kind of made things interesting early after a disastrous start. Really impressive to see how Georgia Tech bounced back in this one.
You saw how Georgia Tech, and it shows you what we were just talking about, how battle-tested they are. They didn't flinch when they turned the ball over 3 times. They didn't panic. They didn't get out of their element. They just stayed the course, fought their way back to the ball game, and got back on the plus side of the scoreboard and ultimately got the win.
That's what you kind of want to see out of your team, especially after those mistakes. But with an impressive win, just to kind of kick this off, is the Yellow Jackets a true ACC contender, Kevin?
You know what? When you're looking at the schedule, man, you don't see Florida State. You don't see Miami. I mean, there are some opportunities here, right? Looking at their ACC schedule, I mean, with who they could have gotten, they don't have SMU, right? It's another team that they miss. I mean, you've got some pretty good matchups. They were able to beat NC State last year, able to beat Miami last year. But that schedule looks pretty good. And who knows what Georgia's going to be in terms of ACC play. I mean, they're set up pretty nice, I think. I mean, they're what do we characterize them at? The angry 3 stars, right? So this gritty, tough team led by Haynes King, I mean, they put it on display tonight, but I think their chances are pretty good in the ACC.
My name might be Emory Hunt, but I'm actually Kevin's inner thoughts. I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. They're winning the ACC, guys, and the reason why I have them winning the ACC, you just pointed out, Kevin, the schedule sets up nicely. We saw them go into Colorado, hostile place, all kind of things pointing to them not winning this ball game. The 3 turnovers, getting down on the scoreboard early, but they fought through and got the win. We saw them now go to toe-to-toe with, Georgia, Miami, all last year, right? But at the end of the day, Clemson is sitting right there. We'll see how Clemson does against LSU, but this is a game that they can get Clemson in that matchup. And if they lose to Clemson, because of all the teams that they don't face on this ACC schedule, they could see Clemson again in the ACC title game. So if I'm wrong about my prediction of them winning the ACC, I will not be wrong about them going to the postseason, because at worst, this will be a team that can get to the postseason because of how the schedule sets up, how they play, and who they have at quarterback.
Okay, well, we got to talk about the other side of this matchup, right? Because it certainly was a tough start for Colorado. Of course, big shoes to fill under center with Shador Sanders' departure. And, I mean, not to mention losing Heisman winner Travis Hunter as well. But what did you make of Kaidon Salter in this one, Kevin?
Look, to me, Kaidon Salter, demonstrated that he did not have a level of trust and chemistry and continuity with his skill position guys. I mean, look, last year, Shador, his chemistry with Travis Hunter, with LaJohntay Webster, with guys he threw guys open. His ability to process and deliver the football. There were times in this game where Kaidon Salter simply missed the open receiver. Had guys open, the production in terms of processing was there, right? But he could not execute when he had to. And maybe this is just first game jitters, but who's to say that you can't find another guy on your roster that may have better chemistry with the weapons that you have. I mean, because those missed throws, that's what lost you the game tonight. I mean, you got outrushed on the ground and Georgia Tech got physical with you. But for the most part, it was missed opportunities in the passing game by Colorado that lost this game.
A play doesn't care who makes it, it just wants to be made. And you laid it out perfectly, because we saw in that video montage of how many throws that he left out there on the field, big plays that could have gone for first downs or touchdowns. And when you have a situation, when you look at what they did last year with Shador Sanders, man, Shador was hitting those throws. He was making those big plays in the most crucial part of the game. We were watching the game, and it was 1 minute left. They got the ball back, and we was like, oh, this is just Shador's time.
That's his moment.
This is your moment to make this happen. We saw Shador do this countless times at Colorado in those type of moments. So with Salter, what he does bring to the table is the athleticism that Shador doesn't have. So he kind of balances the checkbook, so to speak, in terms of, making it an 11-on-11 game. But when you have the ability to make those plays, you're talking about the most accurate quarterback by completion percentage in NCAA history, juxtaposed to a guy that has gotten a team to a New Year's Six bowl game. I'm interested to see how he bounces back, because there's a lot on tape that he did well, but there's a lot that you're like, man, I left a lot of points out there on the field.
Okay, you talk a little bit about Salter and his athleticism, but if this is the level of quarterback play that Coach Prime is going to get this season, what is the fix moving forward then?
Juju Lewis is sitting there, right? And this is a guy that they recruited, highly touted recruit, 5-star prospect, was originally going to go to USC. They were able to flip him, get him to Colorado with the understanding that this is a situation where, hey, you're going to learn, you're going to develop, and we're going to put you out there when you're ready. He reclassified, so he's a young kid, so you don't have to rush him out there, but it was a neck-and-neck battle. And the reason why you go with Salter, because Salter has played great football at Liberty, had those guys playing Oregon in a New Year's Six bowl game, so you're getting high-level play. But if the young guy is proving that he's ready, and if the competition was even, then why not go with the young guy? I'm not saying that's going to happen right now. We'll see how the schedule goes, for Colorado, and we'll see how it plays out.
You asked the question, what's the fix? Well, the fix is going back to the drawing board. The fix is going back to practice, getting the timing right, working on those plays where he breaks contain, uses his athleticism, and can throw to these guys in space. I mean, the chemistry between a quarterback and receiver is paramount. It has to be on point. And we're talking about a game where, unfortunately, perception equals reality. This is football, right? And if your teammates don't trust you with the ball in your hand to be the guy that can make those plays and deliver the ball on those throws, this is how you win and lose games. And it was on display in front of everyone tonight that those throws were not made, and that's why you lost this game.
Okay, I do want to take a look at Colorado's remaining schedule. Is this a team that can compete in the Big 12 this season, Emory?
Yes, I mean, look at that. They have a very favorable schedule. BYU, all those guys that wreaked havoc against Colorado last year, now playing in the NFL. There is an opportunity for them to get 7 to 8 wins with this roster. I love how they ran the football. The defense is much better this year, in my opinion. So collectively, they just ran up against the future ACC champion in Georgia Tech, but they'll be fine moving forward.
And also, when you look at that list of teams, also, there's a lot of teams that don't have a returning quarterback. So that also helps. That's why one of the reasons why we say, hey, the Big 12 is wide open in terms of who can actually win it. Not because there are so many great teams. There's just a lot of evenly matched teams where you don't know what you're going to get on game day. I mean, Colorado could fix this, and next week be a completely different team with better chemistry between quarterback and receiver, and we're not talking about this again. Or they could make the change at quarterback and, see what Juju has to offer. But the Big 12 is still wide open because the talent level across the board, I think you got a lot of teams that could contend for that Big 12 title.
Yeah, still yet to be seen, but I'm certain that the Buffaloes will look to bounce back. They'll have an opportunity to do that with the date Saturday, September 6th, hosting Delaware. Well, we've got plenty more to come, and Colorado looking to turn things around moving forward.